Morning. Looks like we're all up and running. How is everybody today? I've got in front of me the piece that I've coloured in from last week. So this is Francoise Reed's Viola stamp, and what I did last week, if you remember, if you've watched it, you'll remember hopefully. If you didn't watch it, then it's available to watch at any time on catch up. So in the background we've got the flower names, Woodware flower names stamped. Hopefully you can just see some of the flower names just in there. And that was stamped with watering can archival first of all, and then I stamped the viola over the top with Nocturne Versefine Claire. So, and then it's coloured in with distress pencils. This is Seedless Preserves. We've got peel paint, fossilised amber, and a little bit of no, we haven't, that's it, no vintage photo on this one. And then a few of the Sentimental Yours watercolour blending brush pens just for a highlight, and then the Golden Star Stardust pen. So it's got, I don't know if you can catch it, you see it's got a little bit of wonderful shimmer to it. So that's just coloured in. Now, because I forgot what I was doing last week, I actually cut it out using one of my favourite die sets from Sampool, and do watch out for her new ones as well, which you can get on my website. Morning Caroline. This is the layered ripped paper, so I used this largest die to cut it out, and I did that ahead of time, which was silly of me, because I don't know if you can see here where the peel paint is, because of the pigments in the distress pencils, some of the line art is a little bit dull. So I did it again, I mean the one I stamped out, and this one, before I cut the tag out, leaving it on that bigger piece of card, I actually stamped over again. So as long as you leave your stamp in place in your stamping platform, you know, push it right up to the corner, the card, then you can stamp again. So you can see that the line art, hopefully you can see the line art is more defined on the tag than it is here. We are going to use this one today because it'd be shame to waste it. But if you remember to do it, it is a good idea to overstamp, because you keep all that detail. So like with the leaf there, you can see that the detail, the line art is more pronounced on this one than it is on that one. Morning Christine. So anyway, if you remember, do that. This is cut out using the debossed, no, it's called Traditional Top Tags, that's what it's called, from Sentimentally Yours, and there's still a 10% discount if you enter code on my website. If you enter code yours10 in the discount code box at checkout, you'll still get 10% discount on everything that was on Phil's shows on Create and Craft last week. So do go and have a look. I do have some of the new stuff still left in stock, but you need to remember to put that code in, and you'll find them in the As Seen on TV section. So let's make a card with this. I thought we would, because it's all very well me stamping it out and cutting it out. You think, what on earth do we do with that? This is an A6 size, so you could actually just put this on an A6 card blank and just, I don't know, put a sentiment on there or a sentiment inside if you want to. But I thought we would actually play with this and make a bigger card, because we can. Right, so put those to one side, we don't need those at the moment. So again, using this layered ripped papers. This is a special order item on my website, but you can, if you order today, then I'll be ordering tonight anyway, because I want to order some of Sam's new dies. So, you know, it won't be the 7 to 14 days or 7 to 10 days or whatever there is on it. So let's think about what we want to do first. I'll tell you what we'll do first. We do a little bit of stamping first, and because then it can be drying. So as well as the this big viola stamp, there's also the little violet stamp as well. And it's got the definition here. It's got any of various temperate perennial herbaceous plants of the violaceous genus viola, such as the or I don't know what that says anyway. To me it's a pansy, but violas are smaller pansies, aren't they? So anyway, so we're going to use this, and we're going to, do you remember that background that I started last week? When I showed you the one that, this one has just got wilted violet and scorched timber on it. This one I just put wilted violet and I put tumbled glass. It's the distress paints. I'm going to order some more of this set because I've sold out of this set as a result of my live last week. So I put wilted violet and tumbled glass distress paint down. So I put a little bit on my sheet. Oh, where that's from. Misted it with water, and then picked it up. And first of all, I did the wilted violet, then I did the tumbled glass. The tumbled glass was really, really light, so I couldn't really see it. So then I went in with the Stormy Sky, which is a darker blue. So this is more of a grey blue that you'll see in the background. And then again, I wanted a little bit more colour, so I put some scorched timber on. So there's quite a lot going on here. So this is going to be our background. So this is our main piece, and the actual finished card will be 7 by 7. So I've got a little bit left over from when I trimmed. So we've got this little piece here. So we're going to keep it all in line, and we're going to stamp the viola on that. Who we got? Morning Sue, Jenny, hi June, Wendy, hi Ian. Right, so let's just pop this in here. And we're going right into the corner. I did stamp the leaves as well, but for this I'm just going to stamp the viola. It's the actual flower, because I don't have a lot of room left on this piece. But you'll get the gist of what I did. Pick it up and we go for Nocturne Bliss Fine Claire. Give it a good press. Somebody was saying on one of the social media groups, what are these numbers for on here? Well, they just tie in with the rest of the collection, because you could do a background with this. Obviously, if you're going to fussy cut it out, you're going to cut the numbers out off it. But you know, it's just part of the design. It's just that little bit extra. So there's our viola. So I am going to leave it just in the platform like that, so it's in the right place. And we are going to colour it in with our Seedless Preserves. So Seedless Preserves is part of set 2. I'm not sure. I have some distress pencils left. I can't remember which set I've got left, but I am ordering some more. The new ones should be in March. I have also got a little bit that I've decanted into my palette, the colours that I've used so far. So my seedless preserves is in here, because I may well want to just pick up the colour directly. We do need to colour in the centre. So the centre we're going to do, how have I done this? I did the darkest colour in the centre. A couple of watercolour blending brush pens. Don't ask me what set they're from, because when we do workshops they get very messed up, which is fine. And then let's give this a blast. So when you actually use your sharpener, what you can actually do, let's bring this in, working 5 centimetres of space here. You can actually sharpen it when the lid's, open it up, Julia, for heaven's sake. You can sharpen it directly over your, your palette. And then you add a little bit of water. And then you can make yourself a watercolour. And then obviously you leave the lid open, and just like when you're using your mica powders and your luster powders, any of your powders, then it'll set down, and it's more of a creamy watercolour that you get. Just a different way to use your pencils, and it's nice to get yourself a palette going, because then you're not wasting any of it. So we're just going to colour in over the top. This is quite watery. I think that's better, a bit darker. So it's going to look like the rest of them. And I'm going to fussy cut this out. So when you're doing that, you don't have to stay in the lines. So it's quite a quick colouring in, which is quite nice actually. It's very wet. My brush is dispensing water at quite a rate. It does that until it settles down. This is a Tim Holtz brush that I've had for quite a few years. Okay, that'll do. So we let that. This is on watercolour card, the super smooth watercolour card from Sentimental Yours. So we let that settle down and put it to one side. Hopefully it'll be dry in a bit, but I've got one that's dry already. I'm going to leave that to one side to settle down so that it can set. If you put the lid on before they're dry, they're going to take a while for the water to evaporate, and also if you knock it or it falls upside down, then you're going to get quite a mess. So leave it open, and you can write on the top with a permanent marker which colour it is. As you get to know Distress, you don't really need to do that, but I kept that going. Right, and another stamping platform. Oh, this is my creaky one. Creak. Okay, so using Sam's ripped papers, I'm using this die here that's like a notebook page that's been torn out. I really like this one. Morning, Pat. Hi, Marie. And we're going to get a piece of kitchen roll. These magnets are a bit fat, actually. And we're going to do the old scribble thing on the back. stamp out that I need. It's not very straight, but never mind. Where's the stamp that I want? I did get it out, I'm sure I did. Bear with me. A little one. One notebook page. Maybe I didn't. Disappeared on me. Where is it? I want my mini notebook page. That's what I want. I had it planned and everything. Here it is. No, it isn't. That's not it. We might have to go for something else, which is very, very disappointing. I got it out. It was there. You know, I'll find it when I'm looking for something else. Can you see it? It's there, Julia, in front of you. Honestly, I drive myself mad. If I had a tidy classroom, I'd be able to find it. Got it out. Maybe I'll put it back again. Hang on, bear with. Talk amongst yourselves. It's missing from my box, so I must have got it out. Best laid plans and all that. I definitely had it out. Excuse me. This is going to drive me nuts. We're going to spend the next half an hour looking for this stamp because I had it and I've sold out, so it's not even like I can pick one, grab one from stock, even though I've got one that I'm using. It gone? Has the cat had it? Ed, have you had this stamp of mine? Have you? Bet you have, haven't you? There. Right, we're going to have to improvise, and I don't want to. I actually want to use that one, which is driving me nuts. So, okay. It's not the one I wanted. I want the mini notebook page. We're going to have to use this instead because I haven't used it yet. This is really annoying. I'll find it when I'm packing up later, you watch. Right, so this one is nature page. I didn't want to use this one. I wanted to use a different one. Morning, Christine. The worn notebook page fits perfectly on here. Perfectly. Right. Let's have this one. Which is not what I wanted. I'm going to have to colour this in. So I won't be able to finish this today probably. But what I'll do is I'll probably show you the finished. It's got lines on it and everything. And the little bird is coming in. Put that down a bit. It's because I've got my other stamping platform's got another stamp on it. Sounds like me and my bones. Right, what I was going to do is I was going to stamp it in a lighter colour and then go over the top. Could still do that. Oh, let's go black. Oh, it's really annoying me. Final look. It's not that one. I've got a different one out that I'm going to use, but that's on something else. Flip, to put it politely. It might be the gnomes. The gnomes might have run off with it. So this is a really nice stamp. All of this collection from the Mon Jardin collection from Francoise is just absolutely stunning. Right, let's see how you stamp, monkey. This has seen a lot of wear, this particular stamping platform. It's definitely past its sell-by date. Especially if it moves now. Whoa, look at that. Ooh, that is very, very nice. Right, so if I wanted to colour that, do you know, I don't have to colour it in. Don't have to. Right. Let's make the focal point this, okay? And then that can be not coloured in. Let's see how that's going to work. Probably won't work, but let's see. Let's fetch this off then, in that case, because we decide that we're not going to colour this in. Because I would like to finish something. This is me cleaning my stamp. As clean as it gets. That's beautiful. What's it called again? I can't remember. Nature page. Absolutely stunning. As always, it's available over on my website, juliewattscrafts.co.uk, and you will find it in either the new product section or the woodware section. I do love woodware stamps. Something very special about woodware stamps. And they're such good value for money. I mean, the RRP of the A6 stamps is £7.25. I sell them at £6.49, so you do get a discount on them. Where else can you get an A6 stamp for £6.49? Absolute bargain. Absolute bargain. There's over there. Right, let's fetch this up. Should we leave that in place for a minute? Yes. Let's fetch it off. Because the original plan was not to have such a busy notebook page, and the original plan was to bring in the extra stamps here, so violet and probably the definition, so perhaps put violet up there and the definition there, and I could stamp a violet in the middle, but that's not obviously happening because I can't find the stamp, which I got out. Honestly, I did. That's beautiful, isn't it? I'm well chuffed with that. Amazing. I mean, that's a great topper on its own, isn't it? Oh, Francoise, you're so clever. So clever. Right, let's put that to one side. How are we doing with this? That's not quite dry yet. It's getting there. Right, that's to one side. Let's look at this now. We're going to grab a sponge from a platform. That's thrown me, that has, not having what I want. But happy accidents and all that, because that's rather lovely. Right, we use some foam from my stamping platform, and we're going to grab an acrylic block. This is one of the essential acrylic blocks from Sentimental Yours. And we're going to use a stamp from an earlier release called the Worn Notebook page. So this is, obviously you can't see very well here, this is very, very grungy background. Again from Francoise, and available on my website. You can see a bit more with the actual carrier sheet, what it's going to look like. Very grungy. Hi Karen. Right, let's get this on this acrylic block. Where is that monkey mark come from? Don't know. Right, so this time, what are we going to use archival? No, we're not going to use archival. We're going to actually go for... all the inks are all messed up. And they're trying to sort them out since the last social stamping session. We should be social stamping today, but they're doing the road outside the maker's house, so we can't get there. Now, which way up is this? That way up. So this is Morning Mist, which is grey. I might find that this might get a bit darker as the black that's on here wakes it up. I can't remember what I used last, whether I used Morning Mist or black, but we'll soon find out, won't we? I've got to go on the wonk because I'm a wonky stamper, and we're going to go off the page there, give it a good press. So this is a background, if you like. It doesn't have to be perfect, and it probably will get darker as I stamp it more. Just adds a little bit of interest to that background. I know you can barely see it, but that's the whole idea, that you can barely see it. Here. And then we do a full one on the other side. Stamp. I'm sorry that my camera moves every time I stamp, but my desk isn't a very solid desk. I like the look of Leonie's desk up north. That looks fantastic. And then one more, so we're going to go bottom. Try remember and keep it all up the same way. Oh. There's a mark on my desk. And try and get that in here, like so. Okay, so there's our background. Don't know if you can see it. It just adds a little bit of interest. Obviously, if you're a recipient of this card that we're making, then you'll be able to see it. I think also, because the idea is to have, we bring this in here, the idea is to have that on here, and then we're going to tuck, I was going to tuck that underneath, but yes, actually he can be peeping out from underneath there, like that. I don't think we need to colour it, but I do think we do need a little bit of stenciling going on with that on there. Do we need any stenciling on here? No, I don't think so, because we're not seeing enough of it. So let's grab a stencil. And we'll grab, what use this one, Mezzo, M-E-Z-Z-O. I think it's because it's two Z's. And with Francoise's stencils, she usually nowadays gives you multiple designs on one stencil, which is fab. I think we'll have this one going there, like so. And I need a purple brush. Oh, I thought my room was a tip before, now it's even more of a tip. So I think what we'll do is, let's bring in Seedless Preserves rather than Wilted Violet. I'm not, goodness knows what colour it'll be by the time I've finished. And we just add a little bit over the top. I'm not going to rub too hard because the Versavine Clair takes a while to dry, even though it's on watercolour card. Oh, that's nice. think we'll have it a little bit faded down there. That's nice, isn't it? That adds a little bit to it. Very clever stencils. You need these stencils in your life. So that's that. And we need to do a little bit of edging. So I edged the original piece with scorched timber. So we're going to do the same thing so that they look the same. How are we doing with that? Totally dry. So let's do our edging first. We need to edge this first. Scorched timber, and it is the oxide that we're edging with. I'm going to use my little tiny tool because it's got scorched timber on it. I'm actually sold out of these and the last of my refills, but as soon as they're available again, I'll get them back. I've got plenty of scorched timber in stock in all of the products except the pins, because I didn't get the pins in. Obviously you can use your brushes if you want to, you can use the bigger applicators. I think I've snagged this on it, it's got a little hole in it, I think I've snagged it on something. So it might not be as robust as the Woodware ones I use. But you know, it's a new product, so it's always good to test them out, isn't it? I probably snagged it on a stencil. There we go, that's that edged. That finishes that off. And then we'll edge our notebook page, which is actually the nature page stamp from Francoise. Don't be frightened to come in quite a bit if you want to. And the more you think about edging, the worse it's going to be. If you don't think about it too much, then it just comes natural and it looks fab. Thanks, Julie. All the stamps that, all the Francoise's new stamps, they will be at the workshop in March. My next workshop at the Maker's House is on the Sunday the 3rd of March. There are still spaces available. You can choose to do just the morning, just the afternoon, or you can do all day at a discount. The theme in the morning is bees and rainbows, and the theme in the afternoon is flowers. But you can do bees and rainbows all day if you want to, or flowers all day if you want to. I'm very relaxed. And obviously we're going to have a lot of flowers to choose from, a lot of manufacturers. I've just actually stamped, I'll show you this. I've been in love with this stamp set for absolutely ages, which is the Lotus Clusters by Bipasha for All and Create. So, you know, I thought, instead of just having it sat there, I'm going to have it out. And look at this. Look at this stamped out. Absolutely stunning. So these are just 2 of the 4 stamps that are on the set. Absolutely stunning. I'm going to have fun colouring those in. So those will be at the workshop as well for you to use. Like I say, we're very relaxed. You can do whatever you want to. I give you a demo and then you go off and do whatever you want. So this here is, like I say, it's a little bit patchy, but that's fine. But we've lost a little bit of the definition of some of the line art. It still is a little bit damp, but I'll just show you what you do. So, because we've got that viola still in place, we can then bring in our stamp and stamp over the top. because it's very important to push it right up into the corner so that you get it right in the correct place when you overstamp. And now that has more definition to it. And then you fuzzy cut it out and Bob's your uncle. It's such a funny saying, isn't it? So I've got some here. These are the ones I've cut out, and you can see those leaves have got a nice definition to them. So I did exactly the same thing with those. So, and I've also got, I don't know if I'm going to use these or not, I've also got some of the elements from Francoise's new die set. This is Lost and Found craft die. I'm not sure why it's called that. Probably because you're marking things so you can find them, aren't you? And we're putting them all together with paper clips and things. So anyway, that's that. So we've got 2 different sizes of paper clips. And then this is your bulldog clip. And bulldog clips tend to have, silver tops to them, don't we? So I thought we'd attempt to actually put a silver top on. And cut that off neatly. Haven't quite got it. I want to make sure that it's right in the right place. There we go. If it slips, could you reactivate the colour with the pencils or recolour and overstamp again? The problem is if it slips, you will get like a ghost image when you stamped, and it won't look good. Yeah, you can. I think they are permanent once they're dry. The pencils. I'm not sure. Just play around with it. But I think if you miss, then you're scuppered. Really, it doesn't look very good, to be honest. I know. I kind of just try and justify buying things a lot nowadays. Actually, probably I think a lot of us do. We think, do we really need this? It's like Sam's new dies. I mean, I've got tag dies, I've got frame dies, but they are really nice. So I have to have a set for me. So I'll bring those over to my workshop as well. We'll have lots to play with. I dread to think how much my car's going to sag. I'm going to be bringing so much with me. Right, so we're dipping this in, trying not to get it everywhere. Where's my kitchen roll? Let's get rid of the excess and see if we can do a bulldog clip. That looks alright, doesn't it? That looks like a bulldog clip. And there's actually a little dent here as well, so you can actually have it so that it looks like it's hold the camera, hold it right, Julia. So I don't know if you can see that it's bent? Probably not. Anyway. It is just a piece of paper, and you actually learn by your mistakes as well. Right, where are we at now? Let's try and do some construction, because I do want to show you something else as well. Okay, let's stick this one here. As I said, this is going to be a 6x6 card. No, it's not. 7x7. I'm lying. Didn't mean to lie. My brain and my mouth don't match at the moment. I'm so tired at the moment. Goodness knows what's wrong with me. Right. It's the Sentimental Yours PVA, my PVA of choice. And again, you want to make sure that the words are up the right way. They might actually be in the background, but you do want to have them up the right way. this is going to go onto a 7x7 card blank that opens and everything. See, I'm pushing the nozzle into my card, so I'm not actually dispensing loads and loads of glue. If you use loads and loads of glue, it takes ages to dry, and plus your cards will buckle more. I do tend to, if I can, put them underneath my mat, because I've got a piece of MDF underneath my mat, and I put them underneath the MDF to try and flatten them out a bit. See, once you've got that black on there, it kind of pops. And where's my bits? Here's my bits. So I think what we're going to do, let me plan this. I think what we're going to do is we're going to have this here. We can actually have these so that they come up a bit. It's fine going over the edge, as long as you don't go over the edge of the card. And I was thinking about bringing in my this way, that way, this way. I was thinking about putting this down here, that way. I'll faff around in a minute. Let's just kind of put it in the right place. I was thinking about doing that. And we could bring in, we could actually bring in the bulldog clip at the top, but I don't want it to be over the top of my card, so we might drop that a wee bit. Like that. And we could put a paper clip in there, perhaps like that. And look. Put a bigger one down there, maybe. Yeah, that works. Right, okay. Let's stick it together. Right. I think if I coloured that in, I think it would be a bit too much. It's never going to go in back in exactly the right place. Never. Never is. I don't know what that beeping is. I don't think it's anything in our house. So that's going to go on there, like so. And we can actually do it so that it's only stuck by that bottom bit. Or do I want a bit more? Let's have a bit more. Doesn't want to stick now. Right, that's that. Let's bring this in. I'm going to stick the paper clips on first. Where did we want them? We're going to have one down there, won't we? And one up there. We could have it that way, couldn't we? That might be good. Do I have any tape? I don't think I do. We do glue. It's been ages since I've used tape. Get on there. I'm being a bit cack-handed, as they say. Right. Stick. Gosh, it's 1:45 already. How did it do that? Don't move. You're going to go like that. So that little bird is just peeping out. Okay, probably should have put some glue underneath there, but I haven't. I haven't. So this is where I'd stick it underneath my mat so it sticks properly. So let's grab a little bit of glue because I forgot. Okay, a little bit more. Okay. And then we're going to have this chappy here. I think I'll get my leaves on first. You really want to move around. Little critters. Nobody's nodded off yet. It's amazing how this kind of thing takes quite a long time to do. You think, oh, that won't take long. It does. Let's have it just straight like that. Obviously that doesn't want to stick because it's a bit lower, but I'll faff around with that. So there we are, all done. Quite cool, isn't it? There's no sentiment on it. Put the sentiment in the centre. Happy with that. Right, I'm going to stick that underneath my mat. And I did promise on the description that if we got time, we'd do a little bit of jelly printing. So let's get my jelly plate. I probably won't have time to do many. This is just stamping card that I got when I got my 6x6, I think it is, from Clarity years ago. This is a jelly plate, Jelly Arts. It's a 4-inch round. This is my favourite shape. My favourite jelly plate, my most used jelly plate. I don't sell them anymore because they've gone up a lot of money on the supply that I was using. But we did find them on Amazon for around about £20. So that would be my suggestion if you want one, to go onto Amazon. Mine's a little bit, that's why I didn't clean it, so now it's got that on it. And it's also got a rope on it. Do not use VersaFine Clear on these because it just stains and stays. This is an old square acrylic block I've had for years, but it just fits it really nicely. Okay, so let's do tin. Never the tin on the top, is it? So people that came to my workshop will have seen this. Let's go for decisions. I was going to go Salty Ocean. Let's go Mermaid Lagoon. So I'm using Distress ink because I prefer to stamp on top of Distress ink. Flicky brush. And these are the small ink pads just because they're more compact for me to take places. So this is Mermaid Lagoon. Then we're going to go for a Gloria. This is the 4-inch braille from Sentiment to Yours. It does make a racket. It needs I don't know what it needs, but it needs something. And you think there's nothing on there, but in all this, when you clean it off, you can see how much there is. That could be quite useful. Also, before you use a different colour, do actually mist it with water and clean it off, because obviously that's going to transfer. And we're going to take on my website, there's a number of Fairy Hugs bundles. There's a number of other bundles from other people as well, but the Fairy Hugs ones, there's lots and lots of them, because we're having a bit of an inventory clear out. They won't be back in stock. Once they're gone, and they won't be remade in the States either, so we really are clearing down inventory to make space for new stuff. So this is called, what's it called? Can't remember. Oh yes, it's called Net, obviously, and this is in one of the bundles. There's a few under the sea type bundles. Going to use Scorched Timber Oxide. Oh, try not to drop it. Something in there. Bit of kitchen roll. Yeah, the bundles, some of them are less than half price, so do have a look. Like I say, once they're gone, they're gone. And we're just going to press this into jelly plate very lightly. Like so. I do like to do flicky bits. And we can do coloured flicky bits if we want to. So what we could do is take a swipe of a different colour. Let's take a different blue, as we can. And let's have Enchanted Mariner. Yummy, 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 yummy. I can't get the lid off. Sometimes when they're newish, it takes a while to get the lid off. You find that the smaller ink pads aren't as juicy as the big ones because there's a smaller sponge, a smaller surface, so re-inkers are good. Use a splatty brush. Can't actually see whether it's splatting. No, it is. I usually use a bigger one. There it is. Put my bigger ones in the bag. And then we're ready to print. Let's put that to one side. Just clean up before I make a mess. This is where it all becomes magic. Obviously it's round, so it doesn't really matter. This is a 7-inch square, so we could do it like that. I will cut it out later on, and you can see the stamp, you can see the splodges. Let me just lift it off. And there we go. As simple as that. Easy peasy. Obviously you can do paints and things, but I do like using distress. It is quite dark. Obviously different colour inks are going to give you different effects, but you can get probably another one out of here. What have I got here? A little scrap of card here. So you can probably get another one. We'll see how light this is. It's very light, but still usable if you wanted it to be. Can you see? And more subtle. And then obviously you wash this off with water. And you're good to go. And the oxide, because it's a water-based ink, that comes off the jelly plate, and it doesn't mark it. The rope was stamped. As you see, you've got a rope on there. That was stamped with VersaFine Clear. Big mistake. Big mistake. So that's one way that you can use your jelly print. I mean, there's lots of different ways you can use it. I've got some, where are they? This is a lighter one I've done. There's more splats on that one. They're not very big splats on there because I normally use a bigger brush. So there's more splats on there. This is using the Waves stencil from Pink Ink. So you just press that into your, in fact, should we do one? Let's just do one before we finish, because I've got that one as well. That works too. Let's see. Let's grab this here. Let's just clean this off because we'd use a different colour. See, quite a lot of ink comes off even though I've cleaned it off. Hello Paola, my darling, how are you? I miss you too, sweetness. Well, I'm a long way away now. And I'm still waiting for my op. I've been told June now. I'll move again. Obviously. Right, let's get a different colour. Oh, let's go for one of the pinks or purples. Let's go for pickled raspberry. Because Paola's got me thinking about Leonie now. It is quite a dark pink, pickled raspberry. I think it's the darkest one actually. So again, we're just going to run that over there. And you'll see there was quite a lot of ink on there. So you don't need much, you really don't need much at all. Give them a piece of card. Stencil. Let's see, one Francoise's. Could we use this one? It's easy with a big one actually. Let's just grab a big one. Make life easier. This one's called Fairy Florals from Fairy Hugs. So we pop that there like so. And use copy paper to get in between all the nooks and crannies. So we've got, see, that makes a really nice print. Again, you've got that round, so you could use that for a background. And you can actually spritz that as well and use that for a background. You get lots of 2 fuzz or 3 fuzz or whatever fuzz. And then when you pop it down, you get the negative. Cool, isn't it? Cool. Right. And you can probably get another print of that as well. Let's just have a look, because that's quite a dark one. Needs a clean. No, it's very light. You can barely see it. No, you can't really see it, but it is very light. Right. Okay. So then what can you do with them? Oh, there are lots of different things. So bringing this one, I've cut this out with the debossed double stitched squares from Mr. M. So this is the rowboat. Again, it's one of the ones that's on offer on my website in the special offer bundles. So we could bring that in there. We could bring in the whale. Can't remember the name. I think this is in one of the bundles as well. So we could bring that in there like that. Perhaps pop a sentiment on, and you've got a great card for a man. Or we could bring in Raphael. We could have him coming in and have a sentiment here if you wanted to. Or what we could do is, we can actually do some stamping. Let's think. Which one should we put it on? Decisions, because I've got this one, I've got this one, and I've got this one. I want to use that for something else, I think, do I? Let's just do one. Let's just do this one. Stamping platform. So, use this one now. So we need the violet. Oh, this is in my desk. My desk is an absolute tip. How are we doing for time? Oh, it's only just on the hour. So we can just do this. I'm trying to stick to about an hour if I can, rather than do the 2.5 hour marathons or whatever. Let's have him here. So this has got some of the stamps from the Notebook Botanicals postmark paraphernalia and the notebook textures on it. So just like I did with the net, but these haven't got any ink on, so all they've done is actually taken the ink away, and I've got some pink splats on this one, so hopefully you can, let me show you. Oh, hopefully you can see that. Okay, so I thought what we'd do is grab, we could either do the boat, which is that one. I thought what might be quite cool is doing that sunken ship. Again, that's in one of the special offer bundles. Or we could bring Oscar in, because he's quite cool. So I think we'll bring Oscar in, the Optimus. Again, he's in one of the special offer bundles. And with the Under the Sea bundles, there is only one bundle of each. So once those bundles have gone, that's it. And we can stamp it in here. It's all distress ink, so it's not going to go all weird or anything. And let's actually try him in. I've got stuff everywhere. Let's do him in Twilight, which is a really, really dark blue. Some of my Versafine colours are out of stock. I will get some more. I keep saying that, but you know, I have to kind of work out what bills I've got to pay first before I can order more stock. old press. He's not been used for a while, so he might be a bit temperamental. He looks great if you stamp with like glitter glue, not glitter, flitter glue. Yeah, the indigo blue flitter glue. And then put gilding flakes on top. He looks spectacular actually like that. Have you played with your jelly plates yet, Sue? Sue's got some that she got from Crafts too, which are thinner, but they still do the job. So he looks fabulous, doesn't he? So obviously pop a sentiment on. And you've got a really cool card there, and he fits perfectly within that circle. Also, just the last thing, very last thing before we go. The rounds. So remember, we've got this Fairy Hugs. This is the enchantment paper pad, which came out for the magical scenes. This one is called. This one's called Dancing Joy. So it has the musical Flutters and Misty resized to all fit together. So that fits perfectly within that. But once all those paper pads have gone, what can you do? Well, of course, you can use jelly plate backgrounds. It's not an exact match. These are slightly smaller. Oh, I've got dirty fingers on those. Where did that come from? Sigh. That would be trimmed down a bit. Got twilight on my fingers. Yes, it's not the exact size, but it's nearly the same. I think these are 1/4 of an inch bigger. So what we can do is on this one here, which I've got to clean up. Twilight there. And what we're going to do quickly before we finish, and this is the last thing we're doing, this is the orbs stencil in the background. And there's a little bit of stamping just there as well, just to show you. So this one has something rounded at the top and something rounded here and here, so that's going to fit perfectly. So it might go outside your 4-inch round, but this one, which is called Endless Knowledge Magical Scene, I think I've got one of these left. This one, because it's really only rounded on the bottom, this one is going to fit perfectly within our jelly plate background. In fact, we could move it ever so slightly over like that, and then we'll have space to put the sentiment over there. I want to have her sitting nicely. And I think we will stamp her in pine cone because she's brown and blue work really nicely together. Look at me, I'm so messy. No wonder I got some on my fingers. That was when I took the stamp off. Check your fingers when you take a stamp off, especially one that's not clean. So this has got Ollie sat on top of the book flowers. We've got Alina sitting on top of the stacked books and the Path of Knowledge, and they're all the magical scenes are all resized and collaged scenes so that you can just stamp and go. Basically, you don't have to do any masking. It's all there and everything's sized to fit perfectly. Don't have lots of magical scenes left, but I do have some. Let's put that there. What's he got down for? What have you got down for? Let's give her another stamp. Hopefully she's not moved. You have to wait a minute. Ed, wait a minute. one more press, hopefully. Like I say, I'm sorry about the movie camera. Looks good to me. Picture off. Don't look at the blue stain. And yeah, add a little bit of colour. Add a little bit of colour. But you can see that that fits really nicely into the jelly plate background. So that's me for today. I hope you've enjoyed that. Let's grab and hopefully not put any fingerprints on this one. So that's all nicely stuck together now, and we've done a little bit of jelly printing as well. And you can see that that one would stick together really nicely as well. Oh, let's pull this down so you can see. Okay, so everything that we've used pretty much you'll find over on my website, juliewattscrafts.co.uk, shipping to UK addresses. I'll be back next week at 10 AM again, and thank you for watching. Bye.